What's up guys, Lucky here. Today I'm doing a video where you're gonna watch me build a 4-bladed boomerang, and I'm going to be narrating over what I'm doing. That way if you guys wanna follow along, then you can go right ahead. So as you can see here, first I am I'm tracing I'm tracing 2 rulers, as you can see, and I'm going to cut them out using the scroll saw. And make sure you guys are careful whenever using power tools. That's why most of this video I did not use power tools. And that thing in the back was like vibrating because the machine shakes the whole table, so I had to move it. The stupid glue bottle was in the way, but we finally got to cutting. So I'm going to cut out these 2 rulers and then I'll tell you what's next. Now, as you can see, I finished cutting out one of the 2, so you're going to want to cut out the other one, or you can also just use wooden rulers. When you finish cutting them both out, though, you're going to want to measure right in between of them. Well, first sand off the edges, because if you cut them out, the machine will leave some rough edges. Alright, so once you're done with that, you got to make sure you have a wood file with you. So you're going to want to measure right in between them and draw a line on both pieces. And then you're going to want to measure 2 centimeters on both sides of that line in the middle. So you'll have in total 4 centimeters right in the middle. And then you're going to want to draw lines all the way across, that way you can see where you're going to have to file down and not get mixed up. And then you're going to want to draw a line about halfway in that wood on both sides if you can, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. So it has to be about halfway would be the best choice. As long as you know that it's halfway, it doesn't matter. You don't really have to have the line there. So then you're going to grab the wood file, and you're going to want to file that 4 centimeter area down about halfway. Here, I'll show you. I'll do probably one, but I probably won't do both of them. And the file you're using doesn't exactly have to be the same one I'm using. You can use any kind of file as long as it's a wood file. So yeah, just get it down halfway and then do both of them.
Remember when we were so free? I lived through the cold in the air. What's that we couldn't see? Truth is, life stood still right there. I can't help but think this through. All we needed was the truth. Young, setting out in the sun, as if the world had never been undone.
So here you can see I got one done, so it has to be about halfway just like that. And if it doesn't fit in with the other one, then it won't matter because you can always fix it later. So as soon as you have both of them done, as you can see here, you're going to want to make them like a cross and place the two gaps over each other. That way they level each other out. And I would recommend gluing it before you do the next step because it would just make it sturdier. But I'll show you the reason why you should do it. I made a mistake of not gluing it, and I almost risked breaking one of my pieces. And you can use clamps to hold it down and make sure that it glues nice and tight. Alright, so as you can see here is I went ahead and ended up starting to create the blade, that way the boomerang would come back to us. So you're going to want to just shave it in a steep incline until you don't have a flat edge no more. So it's just going to be inclined, and then you're going to want to round it out to the back of the blade where there is going to be a flat edge. And I will show you an example. At the end, I just end up doing a small piece, that way you can see how it looks. So right here I'm almost done, and this is how it should look, but you're going to want to make that go all the way back to the canvas. And I'll show you right here. That's how it should look with no flat edge. You want to make it go all the way back to the canvas. So here I finished doing one of the blades. You're going to have to do this to every single blade, but in a certain order. As you can see, it's very round, and it goes all the way back. So from here to here, you're going to want to do that. From there to there, there to there, and there to there. You want to do that in that very order, as if it, because if you just do any side you want, then it won't do the same thing. And here is where I found my fault, well, the default. You can see as the wood there gets thin because you have to connect the two pieces. It could possibly break as I sand it or file it. So I decided I should glue it. And this is how you would glue it. Just put some wood glue on it. Not too much, not too little. Alright, and then you want to put it over just like that. Make sure it's facing the right way. And then I normally take it off, make sure it fits again, and put a little bit more glue. And then this is where the small clamps would come in handy to keep it nice and tight. And they just keep the wood together really well. So while that dries, I'm going to be making basically something that's going to stop that weak point from breaking easily. So as you saw, I showed you that weak point because of the wood. And before I made this, but without this piece right now that I'm cutting, so when I made it, it broke after a couple uses. So this piece should prevent that. And if you're wondering what I'm doing while I cut, I'm blowing because of the sawdust gets in the way of the lines and it's hard to know where you're cutting. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to even the sides, that way there's not two really large sides or long sides and then one short one or two short ones. And there you have it. And now I'm sanding the edges. And here you can see I finished doing all the blades, and they go in that pattern again. So this is how it should look without that piece. And as you can see, the blades go in that rotational pattern. Now this one, you're going to want to place the smaller piece on the back where the blades aren't curved. So here you can see I'm just sanding down the edges. As I had to sand down the left side, it was kind of harder to do because you would have to do it with your left hand or this is what's gonna look like when you're kind of done. It's gonna have not so square-ish ends. And now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get the glue. Make sure there's no dust on the boomerang, no sawdust. You're gonna get your glue and you're gonna put it on the back of this piece.